Welcome back to Cabin View Ventures. My name is Nick, and today we're going to talk a little bit about sheds. So what if you have limited space, or you can only build one or two structures on your property? What is the best solution for that? So as you can see right behind me are two of my sheds. My wood shed, obviously, and then there is another shed. It's kind of like a hybrid pavilion slash timber frame type structure with a very steep roof. And that is what we're going to talk about today. I'm going to give you a little tour of that, talk to you about how I built it, and tell you what I built it for. Now, my wood shed right behind me here, this is 16 feet long by 5 feet deep. Holds, I usually stack about 3 cords of wood in there, but it'll hold close to 4. So that is about half full right now, we'll call it. The rest of my firewood is all the way over here. And I got some over here. So we got a lot of firewood to move over here before winter time. So let's get into this structure right there. All right, so I built this last year as storage for my tractor. I didn't want the tractor sitting out another winter in the weather. I've just been covering it with a tarp for the first 2 years. So, you know, it was time to clear some space and build a little protection for it. Now, I built this with multiple intentions, or the ability to turn it into multiple different things. So let me head through, let's go to the other side where we have a better view. I have a lot going on in here right now. So the main part of the structure is 10 feet wide, 16 feet deep, and 8 feet tall to these vents right here. To the peak of the roof is 14 feet. So it's got a very tall, steep roof on it. Very simple structure to build. You know, as you can see, it's somewhat timber frame where you have 3 vents. They're both all 3 are 8 feet tall. And then you have the roof built on top of that with a very, almost like a cathedral type. And then off to the front of it, this is 7 feet wide by 16 feet deep. It's really all I had room for before I get down to this hill here. But I wanted that as a place to be able to drive through with some of my equipment. Nice place to park the side-by-side and keep that out of the weather. So that has worked out really well for me. Now, in here is a little crowded right now. This is my roadside wood stand project I have going on. I've got the grapple behind that because I don't like to leave that out in the weather with the hoses on it. And then I've got a couple of my ladders hanging in here, a little fire pit, my log splitter. So I have a lot in here, but I still have room to put the tractor in. So when I've designed this, I wanted to be able to turn it into multiple different things as my needs changed. The way it's designed right now, being open, it's a good place to park equipment. I am probably going to turn this into firewood storage this winter. I have got about 5 cords of wood that I was just pointing out across the yard there. I need to move all that under cover because it's pretty dry right now. It's all under 20% moisture content, so it's actually ready to sell and buy or sell and burn. So I want to get that under cover. So I'm trying to figure out what I want to do with the tractor this winter, but right now I'm leaning towards firewood storage for this. So it's gone from equipment storage to firewood storage. During the summertime, we had a couple parties, and this was actually a really nice place to set up a fire pit and some chairs We have a little solo stove that we set up in here, put a couple chairs around it. We hung some string lights, some solar string lights all the way around. So it actually made a really nice like hangout / party type structure, kind of like a pavilion would be. So, you know, now we've got equipment storage, firewood storage, a little hangout shelter. Another idea I kicked around was possibly turning this into a woodworking shop. It would be really easy to throw walls on this thing, put a floor in it, put some windows, a door in. You know, you could even put a nice little mini wood stove in there and have a nice little woodworking shop. So the way it's designed, it's really easy to close this in, make it an enclosed building with a front porch on it, equipment storage with a drive-through, firewood storage. I mean, I've got a little project going on in there right now, so it's kind of like a workshop as well. So basically what I'm getting to is with this type of structure, you can really turn it into anything or change it. You know, maybe you use it for one thing for a couple years and then you want to turn it into something else. It just gives you some flexibility besides just a purposely built wood shed or, you know, any other type of shed that might be out there. Obviously, you can build these to whatever size fits your needs or your abilities. They're not that expensive to build. You know, lumber's not cheap right now. So this thing, if you just went and bought all this lumber and roofing, you know, from a Lowe's or a Home Depot, you're probably gonna spend somewhere close to $2,000 in just materials and hardware, and then a little bit of labor to put it in. So, you know, relatively inexpensive for a good size shed. I'll give you more of a close-up here. So each one of these sections are 8 feet. So you have 2 main sections. Nothing's buried. I just have this whole thing above ground. Build it on top of these 4x6 timbers. 4x4 posts. You could do 6x6 and make this thing a little beefier, especially if you're gonna make it bigger. I would probably go 6x6. As you can see, it's kind of like an A-frame structure. The support is up really high. It's tied together between each one. That gives you all the support you need. And then you can put whatever type of roof material you want on it. Metal roof is pretty cheap, quick and easy to put up, and is gonna last forever. So, disclaimer, I am not in construction, I am not a carpenter, I am not an engineer. You know, I am sure there's a bunch of different ways to do this better, you know, make this a more strong, sound structure. But this is how I did it. It's working for me, you know, and I think this will be a good fit for a lot of you guys out there that are trying to figure out what type of storage you want, or just like a multi-purpose building on your property. All right, I hope that was helpful for any of you out there looking to do something similar. If you like our content, please subscribe, hit that like button, and give us any questions or comments below. See you on the next one.